Bum bum bum. Hmm.
I'd never tell him, but Joey's statue looked magnificent.
Please dispense all waste in the bins provided.
Vending machine. Let's see. It's not currently open to visitors. Okay.
The museum wasn't open yet. I'd have to come back later. Milo's trail was running cold. I needed to check out Graham's home.
These terminals. Okay.
Hooray! Another customer. Please scan your U-chip to place an order.
The droid had been designed to deliver service with a smile. Excuse me.
Greetings, citizen. Have you come for another extra large fluoride orange spankles with extra foam?
I don't know if that's my sort of thing.
Incorrect. According to your order history, it is your new favorite beverage.
My order history?
Indeed, Citizen Graham. You love it.
You sound an awful lot like that aspiration brooch droid.
Hollow?
I guess so. Are you the same model?
Correct, sir. And how proud I am of that, too. Hollow is a fine droid, an honorable droid.
You're a real fan, huh?
No, sir. I'm a real droid.
Can I get a can of Spankles?
Simply scan your U-chip here on the counter, Citizen Graham.
Great. What flavors are available?
No need, Citizen Graham. Your favorite flavor will be provided from your order history. I assure you, if you are unhappy with the result, your taste buds can be recalibrated.
That's also one way to do it.
Do you know anything about missing children?
Oh my, that's above my pay grade. Unless they came to this cafe.
I doubt it. Nobody else seems to have heard anything.
Excellent. I'm glad to find myself synchronized with local knowledge. Now, may I recommend you forget your troubles with a cold, crisp can of Spankles.
Any chance of a coffee?
Spankles?
No, a coffee. Cup of joe.
Toffee-flavored Spankles?
No, coffee. Coffee-flavored cafe.
How can they not
coffee.
have coffee?
Coffee.
I have no idea what you're saying right now. However, all ranges of Spankles include 250% of your recommended caffeine intake.
What do you know about the council?
The democratically elected body of Union City government, as introduced by Joey. His final gift to Union City was to transfer leadership to those most deserving.
Can I get a can of Spankles?
Just scan your U-chip here on the counter, and I'll bring one right over.
What do you do here?
My name is Barry, and it is my pleasure to serve fresh, crisp, premium Spankles to the wonderful people of Union City.
Do you prepare the Spankles to order?
No, sir. That would be unforgivably inefficient. I merely have to collect the flavor from the dispensary and voila!
Bye for now.
Keep a smile on your face.
Let's see, can we get one?
One fresh, premium Spankles. Please scan your U-chip to place an order.
Welcome, Citizen Graham. Where would you like to go?
I knew Graham had some sort of connection to Milo's kidnapping. His home would be my best, in fact, my only lead. Take me to my home.
Lakeview Apartments. Certainly, Citizen Graham.
The city knew a lot more about Graham than I did.
Do.
As I arrived, masquerading as a dead man called Graham, I was apprehensive about what I would find. But I had no choice. I had to find the stalker. And whoever he was, Graham was my only lead.
Yeah, kinda. I'm Portuguese.
I knew I shouldn't get distracted, but I couldn't help it. It was a hand scanner.
I don't know if it did anything. Oh, bird droppings.
This particular spot seemed popular with the local birds.
At least we weren't going to pick it up.
The seal on the floor showed my buddy Joey just as I remembered him, when I left him in charge all those years ago.
Yeah, but you named him Ken and not Joey. That's gonna annoy me.
Hey, buddy, watch where you're standing.
What's your problem?
Your face, for one.
Excuse me.
Well, if you hadn't been staring at the floor like a moron, you'd have seen me.
I didn't catch your name.
I'm your mama.
Oh,
What?
God.
Do you know a guy called Graham Grundy?
Nope. Sounds like a moron.
In that case, let me introduce myself. Graham Grundy.
Doesn't surprise me.
Do you live here?
Do I look like I live here?
I'm not from around here. Maybe everyone here looks like you.
Yeah? And what do I look like?
Trouble.
Keep walking.
Do you know where I can find Joey?
Oh, I don't know, weirdo. They say he walked into the gap, or sailed across the sea. Either way, he abandoned us all in this place.
You don't like it here?
Needs more color, wouldn't you agree?
What happened after Joey left?
Well, duh. Council runs the city now.
I'll leave you to whatever it was you were doing.
Aw, really? I'll miss you.
Yes, I'm very busy.
Hey, dirtbag! What's your favorite color?
Huh?
You heard me. What's your favorite color?
Green?
Green. Green is not a creative color. Later, man purse.
Later, backpack.
Ha! You got nothing.
Clearly not everyone in Union City was quite as courteous as they were happy.
Okay.
It was another image of Joey, just as I remembered him. Clearly, he'd made his mark.
Is there like a list of... Just mailboxes.
Water tank depleted.
Someone had spilled paint on the floor. Looked like someone planned on doing some painting. The holdall was stained with paint.
Commencing spray. Please stand back. Water tank depleted. Commencing refill. Water refill complete. Apologies, Citizen Graham. This is not your residence.
Didn't change anything. So, what are we going to be able to do to this one? Except what we did, we changed it going from interior to exterior.
Commencing refill.
Hey,
What are you looking at?
nothing.
Then go look at nothing somewhere else.
I guess it takes us where we need to go.
Wait, I knew that you, Chip. Oh my, is it really? Yes, it is. Master Graham, you have returned. How wonderful.
Oh, good day, huh?
I shall inform Madam and her guest that you have arrived. She will be so pleased.
No, that won't be necessary.
She will be overjoyed that you have finally returned to the bosom of the family. My apologies for the interruption, Madam Songbird. It's Master Graham.
What about him, Chipworth?
It appears he has arrived home, Madam.
He has, but that's wonderful! Oh, thank Joey! My dear husband is back!
Ah, I was hoping to meet you, Mr. Grundy. Mentor Alonso, Ministry of Well-Being. I was just here to investigate some irregularities.
I'm sure my Graham needs a few moments to freshen up. Why don't I show you my kudos records? I don't know who you are, but right now we're both in a lot of trouble. So for both our sakes, you'd better convince the mentor that you're Graham.
Yes, of course.
I'll stall him. Just don't come through that door until you know enough about Graham to pass yourself off as him.
Don't worry. You can count on me. I wasn't sure what I'd walked into. But if I was to convince anyone I was Graham, I needed to find out more about him. His job, his family, his state of mind. The mentor could ask me about anything. Information about Graham was scattered all over the place. All I had to do was look around. Keep a smile on your face.
Nah, but that was, you know, that we were gonna have a meeting at 10:50 with the minister.
Excuse me, please.
And there's a picture of Paris with her. And God, she looks so grumpy in the right picture. Oh, thanks, Ray. How you doing, buddy? And thanks again for the super sticker. That's very generous of you, buddy. Damn, she looks grumpy. It looks like...
The pictures were all of Graham's wife. They were photochemical prints, taken using an old-style film camera. The retro technology had managed to blend songbirds seamlessly into the fake backgrounds.
God, she looks so pissed off in the last picture there.
The subject didn't look happy. The pictures were all of Graham's wife.
Excuse me, please.
Something told me the fire was not authentic.
I'm gonna talk to the shipward for a lot, I think.
Definitely an improvement on the food dispensers they used to have here. Personally, I preferred an open fire for cooking.
Oh.
At least one person in the city appreciated a nice cup of coffee.
Oh.
Although I doubted Union City Blend contained even an ounce of actual coffee beans. A shelf full of sports gear and awards from years gone by. That looked like Graham and his wife on their wedding day. They looked blissfully in love. The pictures in the apartment told a sad story. A blissful romance that had soured with time. Rhythmic gymnastics, first place. Amethyst or purple glass? Either way, it looked expensive. Union City Red. I suspected it was more fruit juice than wine. Personally, I preferred an open fire for cooking. Hello there. Chipworth, wasn't it?
Master Graham, may I say, sir is looking even more fabulous than usual today.
Why, thank you.
Has Master Graham lost weight?
Maybe. Does Master Graham look like he's lost weight?
Oh, yes, sir. And it would appear sir has gained some height as well. Bravo.
Tell me, Chipworth, who was that woman just now?
But that was sir's wife, Madame Songbird.
Yes, of course. My wife.
Is sir quite feeling himself?
It's fine. I've just been having a difficult few days.
How serendipitous that the well-being mentor is here then, is it not, sir?
Tell me about that woman.
A woman? Can sir possibly be referring to his good lady wife?
That's a woman?
Humor me. For instance, her name would be...
Madame Songbird. Clearly, sir is not feeling quite himself today. Sir might recall he even forgot dear old Chipworth's name earlier.
Who?
Me, sir.
Chipworth, tell me everything you know about me.
Request respectfully declined, sir.
But aren't you my butler droid?
Yes, sir. I have been Sir's butler for a very long time.
Then why can't you tell me?
Standing orders, sir.
Whose orders?
You... nice try, sir. Almost had me.
Graham had made sure his droid wouldn't talk. I had to do my own investigating. So, what do you do, Chipworth?
Whatever Sir desires.
Can you juggle?
Sadly, sir, one's capabilities are restricted to the minutiae of domestic service.
Shame.
We are what we are, sir.
Aww.
At least as far as anyone else needs to know. Who was that guy in here when I arrived?
Is Sir referring to the gentleman currently probing your wife in the bedroom?
I guess I am.
That
was one way to put it.
Mentor Alonso, senior officer at the Ministry of Well-Being. I believe that he would like to see you next.
He would?
Mentor Alonso indicated that there were one or two anomalies in Master Graham's records. Public voting, kudos levels, employment, whereabouts within the city.
Just some minor things, then.
Consumption patterns, biosigns, indication of physical existence.
I think I get the picture.
But I'm sure there's a simple answer, Master Graham.
This mentor, what will he ask me about?
The Ministry of Well-Being is always concerned, sir, with a citizen's well-being.
Well-being?
That's right, sir. A citizen's health and happiness, their relationships and social life, all of the utmost importance to the Ministry. He might also inquire if Sir needs any support in the workplace or similar.
Why exactly was I selected?
I believe Sir's 2-week-long work, poll, and social hiatus may have raised some concerns. Just be yourself, sir, and you will be fine.
Of course, because I am Graham Grundy. Is this interview just going to be about me?
Correct. The mentor is here to assess Sir's well-being.
And what happens if Sir answers the questions incorrectly?
Incorrectly, sir? Get them wrong? How could Sir possibly do that?
Perhaps I hit my head on something.
Ha! Very droll, sir, very droll. Might I suggest that Sir just be himself and it will all be fine?
I didn't have long. I needed to learn about Graham Grundy, and fast. Goodbye, Chipworth.
Have a very special day, sir.
So Graham was a cleaning supervisor? The logo on the uniform was quite distinct. I needed to find out who he worked for. If I slipped up, I'd be exposed right away. After 10 years in the Gap, I'd almost forgotten what a toilet looked like.
Oh, to sit down, people. Oh.
There was a boot print. Curious. A box had been hidden outside the window. If I could get the window open, I'd be able to reach that box. Tempting, but I'd already had my monthly bath.
Don't see how anything of that's gonna help me open the window.
Welcome back, Graham. Displaying your health chart now. It has been 2 weeks since your last checkup. You have lost weight. Congratulations. It has been noted that your height has increased. Adjusting records accordingly. Scanning for medical implants. Error. Implant missing. Refreshing biomodification database. Please wait. Removing cardiac implant registration. Registering Schriebman port as new implant.
The scanner had detected my Schriebman port, which allowed me to interact with Link, the city's old network. Since then, I'd pretty much forgotten about it.
Adjusting your health rating from C to A+.
I was considerably fitter than Graham. That was good to know. What devices do I have installed?
You possess a U-chip personal data implant in the perlicue of your right hand. It is functioning correctly. Your cardiac regulator implants have been marked as removed. Please return them to your nearest medical waste facility. You possess a Schriebman local interneural connection port in the third cervical vertebrae. This hardware predates the Minos system and cannot be accessed at this terminal.
That's probably for the best.
You are welcome, Citizen Graham.
Do you have any advice for me?
A single can of Spankles contains more than your daily dietary requirements. Look for the clown. Drink Spankles. Keep a smile on your face.
Thanks.
You are welcome, Citizen Graham.
Give me a checkup.
Scanning. Your physical health is within the top percentile for a Union citizen. Congratulations.
Thanks.
You are welcome, Citizen Graham.
Any other advice?
Do you have any further advice for me?
Are you aware that falls while walking are one of the biggest causes of injuries in Union City? Remember, no matter how short the journey, a monopod is always safer and more convenient.
Thanks.
You are welcome, Citizen Graham.
That's all for now.
Due to the alteration of your physical parameters, a new uniform has been ordered and will arrive at your home shortly. Keep a smile on your face.
I was a lot healthier than Graham. In fact, I'd say Graham was downright unhealthy. I had made some headway, but I still needed to know about Graham's work and social standing.
So how are we gonna be able to open that window though? Maybe if you talk to...
Chipworth?
Hello, Master Graham.
Have a super day, Chipworth.
Serving you, sir. Every day is super.
Oh my god, a kiss up. Oh god.
I was hit by the acrid smell of chemicals. The box was for a deluxe hollow plinth replacement lens. There was nothing inside. I wondered if the people knew that Hobart agents had helped me save their city. A cavalcade of cryptids. Someone believed in monster stories. A sword? The blade was cracked.
Medals?
An impressive collection of medals ranging from bravery to long service. Most of the medals dated back to before I was born. A security forces copter. I still had nightmares about those things. Twice I'd flown in them, and both times they'd crashed. I hoped I wouldn't have to risk it a third time. It looked like one of the land trains from the city walls. It was a detailed model. A uniform like the one Graham's wife wore. It was cut for someone much larger. I needed to find out who he worked for. If I slipped up, I'd be exposed right away. Developing fluid in trays. I hadn't seen gear like this since I was a child. You can tell a lot about a man from his shoes. In this case, that the man had no taste. I wondered if Graham self-medicated. Giant scorpions in the sewers, real or fake? Unlikely. The tentacle monsters would have eaten them years ago. When I came to Union City 10 years ago, this was very much the case. These days, I wasn't so sure. Anti-Hobart propaganda. Some things never change.
Eh?
A printer? It was rare to see one of those. How to survive a war. Better just to not be around to see them. The calendar showed today as a holiday. Aspiration Day. Espionage during the Hobart Wars. Nice to see the propaganda was still around. The blind blocked out all the light from outside. Among the drawings were photographs, land trains, and the city walls. The council was made up of 5 ministries. Each ministry had their own logo and distinctive color scheme. From the color of his uniform, it was clear that Graham worked for the Ministry of Comfort.
Yeah, exactly.
I knew quite a bit about Graham's work and health, but I figured I could learn more if I found his kudos records. A chart showing that Graham's kudos score had recently dropped. I wondered what had caused such a sharp decline. I had learned all I was going to from Graham's apartment. I hoped it would be enough.
B minus C plus. Can we hack it? We can hack the printer. Hey Ali, how you doing? Nothing we can do, right? Yesterday game, we finished it yesterday. This is the follow-up game. I mean, Beneath a Steel Sky was made in 1994. This one was released in 2020. So that's all we're gonna learn, huh? Well, let's see.
If I was going to convince the mentor, I had to be sure I knew enough about Graham. I needed to find out more information if I wanted to avoid getting caught out.
Okay, is there anything else? Is there? On TV, maybe? I think it said all that I should know about, right? think there's any else. Yeah, that window we can't do anything about at the moment. Okay, let's go.
If I was going to...
Oh wait,
I needed to
let me
find out
do
more
like
information
this.
if I wanted to avoid
Make me
getting
a
caught out.
saving just in case. Dun, dun, dun. In case we get something wrong, I guess.
If I was going to convince the mentor, I had to be sure I knew enough about Graham. I couldn't keep them waiting any longer. From that point on, I had to be Graham Grundy, cleaning supervisor.
Darling, I thought you were going to freshen up.
I was, but I missed the sweet sound of your voice.
Oh, Graham, always the romantic. But please don't kiss me until you've showered.
Wouldn't dream of it. Besides, I couldn't let Alfonso here
Alonso?
monopolize my lovely wife for a moment longer.
In which case, shall we begin?
Of course. Shall we take a seat in the lounge? It was now or never.
So, Mr. Grundy.
Mentor Alonso, what would you like to know?
Ah, well, straight to the point. I like that. As I was explaining to your dear wife earlier, there have been some issues with your activity records of late.
Issues? What do you mean?
Mr. Grundy, a word to the wise. This will be much smoother if you leave the questions to me. Now, whilst your records load, remind me, in which ministry are you employed?
It was... right? Yeah.
Comfort. I'm a cleaning supervisor.
Yes, of course. Ah, here we go. Graham Grundy, 42, cleaning supervisor with the Ministry of Comfort. Cleaning supervisors require Class C exertive activity certification. I trust that your health rating is sufficient.
Mm-hmm. A+.
I did drop down a bit, but I'm back to Class A+ now.
Excellent, excellent. Very good. So, with that in mind, I will mark you as fit for work, barring any other issues. Now, obviously, your kudos level will have fluctuated due to your absence. You're a C+ right now. I note you used to be much higher.
You were B, 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 B-, and then C+, so B.
B.
Yes, well, you'll be back up there in no time. Well, that is all I need to check off. But I'd be remiss if I didn't offer you all the extra support and guidance that you need.
Mentor?
When someone goes off-grid, there's usually some underlying trouble. And as a mentor, I like to think of myself as a bit of a troubleshooter.
Of course. I appreciate the concern.
So, let's get to the bottom of all this confusion. Dig a bit deeper, eh?
Deeper?
Yeah, it
That's
just
right.
took them
By
16
all
years
means,
to
Mentor.
make it.
Tell me about your workplace.
Or released,
I trust there are
I
no
should say.
issues.
We are working at the train depot. Yeah, wifey, I know where we
The
are.
land train facility. It's a fine place to work.
I'm sure it is. Department of Land Trains and Extra City Commerce.
Oh yeah, 26 years, yeah.
Wonderful.
Oh, yes. Couldn't be happier.
We are, of course, very grateful for your service, Mr. Grundy. But there we come to the crux of the matter. Your absence. 15 days is a long time. This is, of course, why my ministry has become involved in your case. We have been concerned.
That's a pretty long
for
time
your
to
well-being.
get a sequel.
I'm fine. Better than ever, in fact.
Excellent. Now, speaking of your health, I note you had some surgery last year. Tell me about your implants. Are they working effectively?
Yeah, heart, yeah, I know.
You mean my heart regulators? Nothing to worry about. as you can see, the beat goes on.
Hey, Renji.
Well,
How you doing,
I
buddy?
must say you're in remarkable shape considering your medical history. Of course, your mental well-being is just as important to us. How are you getting on with your rather peculiar hobbies?
Well, photography?
You mean my photography?
I do, yes.
You can't beat the feeling of an old-time film camera.
I can imagine. You have an eye for composition. Although I don't understand your interest in using such archaic technology. Choosing to fiddle with knobs rather than availing of ministry-recommended filters, stabilization, automatic archive, and data retrieval, all courtesy of Minos. If we can't see what you create, how can we share in your interests?
What can I say? I like a challenge.
I'm sure you do, Graham. Ah, well. I have a busy day of appointments, so sadly we must conclude our little chat there.
It's been a pleasure, Mentor.
Hasn't it? So with that in mind, perhaps you can tell me where you've been for the last 2 weeks.
What? Right. Yes, where have I been the last 2 weeks?
Well?
Okay, so the last 2 weeks, I was working at the land train facility, of course. Cleaning. I'm a cleaning supervisor. And while I was cleaning, I must have bumped my head. The next thing I knew, I was in the middle of nowhere, still on the train. 2 weeks later, the train returned to the city. Cleaner than it's ever been, I might add.
My poor darling! How awful! What a dreadful thing to happen!
I believe I have all the answers I need from you.
Well, that's a relief.
I'm sure it is, Mr. Grundy.
Well, thank you for stopping by.
Just a teeny tiny thing before I go. There appears to be 1 or 2 anomalous results here.
Anomalous? That doesn't sound good.
It may be nothing. But here's the thing. I get strange readings when I scan your U-chip. Any idea why?
Maybe it got damaged when I fell.
Ah, yes. Of course. That's probably it. You see, the only other time I've seen anything like this is when a U-chip has been tampered with. No one would have done that now, would they?
Tampered with? I didn't even know that you could do that.
Graham's a supervisor, not a subversive mentor.
Yes, a supervisor, not a subversive.
Damaged when he fell. Request analysis. There. Perfect. I have everything I need.
Great. Chipbot will show you out.
Chipworth, darling.
Just my little joke. Chipworth.
Good day, Mr. and Mrs. Grundy.
I don't know who you are or what you've done with Graham, but I think we got away with that.
I hope so. I don't think that we would get away with it a second time.
Nor do I.
If there is anything wrong with Graham's U-chip, you would better sort it out sharpish before Alonso's analysis comes back.
Who even are you? Where's Graham? Are you that contact he kept ranting about?
Whatever Graham had been up to, it had gotten him killed. I had to come clean with his wife. There's no easy way to say this, but I'm afraid Graham is dead.
What? How? Where?
I found him. In the Gap.
The Gap? What was the idiot doing in the Gap? Was that where he was always sneaking off to? Ugh!
A child, Milo, was abducted from a village out there and brought into Union City. And I think Graham was somehow connected.
Sure, and pigs fly. Listen, stranger. I'm sure you can understand this has been a rather harrowing day. This is all too much for me right now.
Tell me about it.
So, I'm gonna do some damage control on social media. In the meantime, I guess that officially it is your home, so you can stay, but this is my bedroom, and that one is yours. No cute ideas.
Understood. Songbird seemed rattled by the news. Not surprising. But whoever this contact of Graham's was, I suspected they were the key to finding Milo.
Oh, nothing there for us.
I didn't think Songbird would appreciate me rummaging through her things. In Union City, even the teddy bears had screens. This one was broken. I poked at it, but I couldn't get it to turn on.
Oops.
The shelf was loaded with books on management, business theory, and military strategy. The climate controls looked complicated, except for the big switch marked Windows.
Hey, don't touch that! What have I said about these windows? Keep them closed.
No, we need her away from here.
Ahem.
Songbird, I'm sorry
For what?
that your husband is dead.
Hey, win some, lose some.
That's pretty harsh.
Look, stranger. You told me your secret, so I'll tell you mine. Last few years, Graham gave up trying to be anything other than the dullard he really was. If it weren't for the kudos for being married, I'd have dumped him months ago. You're new here, so a word of advice? You want to win in Union City? Learn the rules and play the game.
My name's Foster, by the way. Robert Foster.
Songbird.
Is there anything more you can tell me about Graham?
Not much. He was a loner whose only friends were idiots like him.
Tell me more about Graham.
Why do you want to know?
I think he might have been involved in something.
What do you mean?
I came to Union City from the Gap because I was investigating a mysterious...
Oh, for Joey's sake, not you too. Blah blah conspiracy, blah blah giant dog. Graham was the perfect husband until he started getting crazy ideas. Why couldn't he just have an affair like a normal person?
Who's this contact you mentioned?
Bad news, as far as my kudos level is concerned.
What do you mean?
Graham was always rambling on about this hacker friend of his.
Oh.
Had a daft name. Leet, I think.
Any idea where I could find Leet?
Probably somewhere up top, with the other degenerates. If I were you, I'd stay away.
Did Leet believe in Graham's conspiracies?
Believe? Pretty sure he's where Graham got him from. Bad influence all round.
What's with the Alonso guy?
Guy? I believe you're referring to Mentor Alonso from the Ministry of Well-Being. He's a high-ranking official. And we've just lied straight to his face.
Quite the team, huh?
If he knew what's really going on, I dread to think how far my kudos would plummet.
And what about me?
Arrested, deported, I don't know, but not important.
Is Alonso coming back here?
For both our sakes, I hope not. But I'm not risking it, so don't even think about doing anything stupid.
Nothing stupid? For how long?
Very amusing. Until my
Exactly,
kudos is
for
back
how
on
long?
track, obviously. But for now, you are Graham.
Me, Graham. You, Songbird. Yeah.
Can I open the window?
I'd rather you didn't.
Why not?
See those clouds out there?
Yes?
That's not water vapor.
Oh. You mind if I open a window?
Yes.
Looks like Graham was quite the photographer.
Oh, he was dreadful. At first I thought he was an artist. Then I found out he used those ridiculous antique cameras. It took hours to see the finished photographs, and he took forever fussing with the lighting. The only good thing about his photographs is that I'm in most of them.
Graham was a conspiracy theorist?
Always was. But before he went missing, he really changed. He became secretive. Used to close the terminal whenever I came into the room.
That's not that strange.
And he started spending a lot of time in the bathroom. And then he just disappeared.
Okay, that's the weird bit. What do you know about the council?
They run the city. You know, like they always have since Joey left.
Can I speak to them?
Not with Graham's ID, you can't.
You work for the Ministry of Comfort?
Sure do. It might not sound prestigious, but without us, the city falls down.
You don't seem the type to settle for a cleaning job.
Cleaning supervisor, thank you very much. And you'll find in Union City, it's not what you do, it's how you do it that counts.
How so?
You know, get the job done, don't get in trouble, keep a smile on your face, the usual.
What can you tell me about the Minister for Comfort?
The terminal has their details. Look there if you want to know more.
What were you saying about kudos?
Were you born yesterday?
Yeah.
Let's just say I'm new here.
Okay, newbie. Here's how it works in Union City. Be a good example, stay happy, and you get kudos.
Which you spend?
Well, kinda, but not really. The higher your kudos level, the lower you are in the city. Simple.
So kudos is bad?
Aren't you listening? Lower. Lower is better.
So you need a higher kudos to get lower?
Of course. That industrial pit up there hovers over me like a storm cloud. And this middle level is simply beneath me.
I think I understand what you mean.
But the lower level, now they are my kind of people. They've got standards that you don't see enough of around here.
How can I raise my kudos level?
With kudos, obviously.
So how do I get more kudos?
Well, isn't that just the question? Like I said, be happy, get points.
But how can you be happy when
Happy,
you've just found
happy,
out your
joy,
husband is
joy,
dead?
joy.
You think I'm not sad on the inside? No one's gonna give me a medal for having a dead husband.
But
Let's talk about something else, eh? My points have already dipped way too much today, thanks to you.
could Graham have had anything to do with kidnapping?
For both our sakes, I hope not.
Can I ask you about some missing children?
I'd rather you didn't.
Thanks.
Yeah, bye.
Jasmine. A Detective Culls. Someone liked their murder mysteries. A collection of toy animals were lined up in little baskets. One was missing. There was an empty spot marked Bartleby Bilby.
Heck.
Carl Koala. Dave Dingo. Kevin Kangaroo. Excuse me, Songbird?
What is it, Graham?
Are you a collector?
What?
Toys. You have quite the collection.
Oh, yes. The whole set of cuddly kitties. Even the limited edition Mama Bear from 5 years back. Well, I did have the whole set, at least.
Did something happen?
Bartleby went missing, that's what. I asked Graham about it and he denied all knowledge. Then, when I tried to use the Mama Bear tracker to find dear Bartleby, he threw her across the room.
Clumsy.
Clumsy. Those bears were my engagement gift. He hid Bartleby just to spite me.
Graham had taken Songbird's toy Bilby, but I couldn't figure out what he'd have wanted with it. Wherever he'd gone, Graham clearly didn't want to be tracked. What does Bartleby Bilby look like?
Bartleby is a bilby. Adorable, long ears. Like a bandicoot and a rabbit all rolled into one. At least he was, before he went missing.
What's a Mama Bear tracker?
What do you think? It tracks her babies.
Her babies?
The cuddly kiddies. Most toys in Union City are tracker-enabled. Lost toys mean screaming babies. Unless you got a tracker.
Mind if I have a look at the tracker?
Go ahead, though the screen is broken. Squeeze the left ear to turn it on.
Mind if I have a look at the tracker?
Go ahead, though the screen is broken. Squeeze the left ear to turn it on.
That's all for now.
Yeah, bye.
It looked like Graham had taken Bartleby and didn't want it tracked. I had a hunch that he had taken it to Leet, but had no idea why.
Okay, so we are gonna check that one in a second, but I want to window. I wonder if we can use
Chipworth?
Hello,
see
Master
here.
Graham.
Do I know someone called Leet?
I can neither confirm nor deny that, sir.
Why's
God
that?
damn it.
When Sir was shorter and stouter, it was made very clear that I was not to discuss such information with anyone, not even Sir himself.
Okay. Do you know if I know someone called Leet?
Excellent loophole, sir. Yes, I do know with absolute certainty whether Sir knows someone called Leet.
That's good enough for me. What's this about a celebration tonight?
The Aspiration Day Gala. Madam Songbird is so looking forward to it. It has populated approximately 83% of our conversations. In fact, any time someone spoke of it, your heart rate would elevate and you would perspire, sir, heavily.
Is that why Graham left?
Is Sir referring to himself? Or a friend also named Graham?
Do I have any friends?
None, sir.
That was dark. Do I even have any friends?
Ah, how are you, Chipworth?
I am well, sir. Thank you for inquiring.
Do you know someone called Leet?
He was never my acquaintance, sir.
I need you to do something for me.
Just say the word, sir.
Ah, windows.
Please, can you open the windows, Chipworth?
Very good, sir.
The mentor, Alonzo, seemed to be arguing with someone. The Gang had a ferocious beak. I was lucky not to lose a finger. The Gang had a ferocious beak. I was lucky not to lose a
Give
finger.
him
Here you go.
damage.
Whatever was in the box, Graham had clearly not wanted anyone to find it. Inside was a small glass lens. It had deep cuts scored across its surface, but that wasn't all. Tucked beneath was a photograph, a picture of a stalker, a child's face pressed against the window. Suddenly I realized that it wasn't just Milo. It was clear that multiple children were being taken into the city, and somehow Graham was connected to it.
Man, why can't I make a coffee? Oh, man, bad game. Okay. Got on.
The device was now on, but with the screen broken, I'd need to find another way to get at the data. I wondered why Graham had taken a children's toy.
Hello there. I'm Mama Bear.
Hi.
Mama Bear looks after all the cuddly kitties. Are you looking for one of my children?
I'm looking for Bartleby Bilby.
Don't worry, child. Look at my tummy to find your missing friend.
I can't use it anywhere though. Don't have any other place. I need another to be like grayed out like this so I can switch it. Otherwise I can't grab it and switch it. So maybe we need to hack the There we go.
The plinth was showing the toy's tracking data. All I needed to do was locate the area code E1594. Find the tracker, find Leet.
Hey.
Hello, Chipworth.
Good afternoon, sir.
Do you know what E1594 might refer to?
It's a city area code, referring to a few city blocks, I would imagine.
Which part of the city exactly, though?
Sir is confusing me with an android that gets out and about.
You make it sound like you're a prisoner here.
Sir's words, not mine. I suggest Master Graham seeks out a map.
Chipworth knew very little about the geography of the city. I'd need to find a map if I was to make headway. Do you know what E1594 might refer to?
Do I look like a map droid, sir?
You sound like you're developing a bad latitude.
Oh, I see. A little cartographical quip at Chipworth's expense. Very droll, sir.
There's more where that came from. Songbird doesn't seem too upset about her husband.
And why would she be? The glorious Master Graham has returned to us.
Sounds like my wife didn't miss me all that much.
I'm confident Madame Songbird's affection was simply kept hidden. On the inside.
I'd like to hear more about Songbird.
May I suggest that Sir speaks with the lady directly? Or perhaps check her social media presence. That's how Madame has traditionally spoken to you.
Goodbye, Chipworth.
Have a very special day, sir.
Let's talk to her and see if she can know something. But otherwise, we're gonna have to talk to.
Excuse me, Songbird?
What now?
Any idea where the area code E1594 refers to?
E1594? What would I know about an old area code?
Old?
The monopod system has taken care of transport for years.
You sure you don't know where to find E1594?
The monopod system has taken care of transport for years.
That's all for now.
Yeah, bye.
Now, weird that you can ask like twice about it when she gives the first answer already. New message. Oh my god. Seriously, can't you scroll faster? Why doesn't they have the like the last one at the bottom? Because I have to scroll through everything just to get to it. Dear citizen, looking for an inspiration day gift for your loved one. Beauty salon in business for over 20 years can pamper you or your loved one. Found us at Astoria 852. Keep a smile on your face. Dear citizen, can a low and feeling down? Come and play with Spankles the Clown. Meet Mrs. Spankles at 128 Devonshire Boulevard. Remember, no kids after 3 p.m. Keep a smile on your face. Still can't get a... can't pack it either. Yeah, so I think we're gonna have to check one of those bots.
Apologies, Citizen Graham. This is not your residence.
The heck? Dapper Butler.
Excuse me.
Ah, Master Grundy. What joy to see Sir again after all this time. The Poet Laureate Reginald Arthur Schnipple Esquire sends his regards and/or condolences as appropriate.
How nice of you, Reginald.
Correction, sir. If one may be so bold, Mr. Schnipple is of course Sir's human neighbor. How Sir might mistake yours truly, Tarquin, for our beloved Poet Laureate is beyond imagining.
Any idea where I might find a place called E1594?
That sounds like an area code, and not one I would venture into.
How so?
It would be extremely inappropriate for a gentleman to visit Sector E.
Do you work in these apartments?
Of course, Master Grundy. Sir and I have been neighbors for 147 days and 11 hours.
What do you think about the graffiti?
As an artiste, I find any medium a valid form of expression. Of course, the vandalism does somewhat detract from the piece.
So you like the graffiti?
I said it was a valid form of expression, albeit not on a par with, say, the literary arts. But as art goes, it's not too abhorrent.
Who are you again?
Tarquin, Fidelis Mark II domestic savant, at your service.
So you're a servant?
Savant, please. I am a highly engineered personal aid.
I'm Graham Grundy.
Of course, sir.
So we've met before?
Of course, sir.
When's the last time you saw Graham? Me?
Master Grundy, one is sure one doesn't need to remind Sir that one works with Sir's neighbor.
One would need one to remind one.
Ah, does Sir mean Sir would need one to remind Sir, or one would need Sir to remind one?
One is not sure anymore. You have a real way with words.
Aha, Sir is referring to one's grammatical prowess, no?
Yes.
Sir is too kind. And yet, if only one could translate grammatical prowess into poetic inspiration.
Have you heard any reports of missing children?
Why, no, Master Graham. If anyone went missing, I'm sure AI Officer Greta would find their U-chips.
What if they were from outside the city?
Well, surely AI Officer Greta would find them by their newly implanted U-chips.
Fair enough. For all his poetry, Tarquin was still a Union City droid. See you later, Tarquin.
Will I?
Huh? It's just a phrase.
Shall we schedule in another meeting?
I don't think that's necessary.
Such ambiguity. A tortured soul. Alas, I am inspired.
Oops.
Commencing spray. Please stand.
Yeah, it's just the paint. Oh. Didn't see that first.
The seal had been vandalized. Poor Joey.
Oh, that was kind of cool, huh?
Dear me, a terrible situation. Very troubling indeed.
Mentor, given your experience, your input here would be greatly appreciated.
Orana, isn't it? You strike me as a fine young officer of the Ministry of Well-Being. Would you say that's an accurate description?
I'm flattered, sir.
Your record is exemplary, I believe.
I do my best, sir.
I'm sure you do. So please, don't let me down. Fix this mess.
Mess? You mean the girl?
The whole untidy situation.
Yes, sir.
At girl. Keep a smile on your face. After all, it's Aspiration Day, isn't it? The happiest day of the year.
I'll take care of it, sir.
I know you will. By the way, a call to pest control wouldn't go amiss.
Of course, sir.
Meanwhile, I shall isolate this area until this unfortunate incident has been resolved.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your advice.
We're all here to learn from each other. Take care now.
Oh, what a slime bag.
Miss! Pardon me, miss!
Who, me? Hey! You can see forever up here! You know? Be free!
Miss! You have to be careful!
Careful or careless? I know which one I want to be.
Why don't you come down, yes? Miss Dijon, is that right? Raquel Dijon.
Yeah! That's me. I think.
Raquel!
Raquel? Did you say Raquel?
You need to come down.
What? Where am I? Oh no! Help! Help!
Hearing her name had triggered a total change in the girl's behavior. I needed to find a way to get her down before she fell.
Commencing spray. Please stand back. Water tank depleted.
Are you okay?
No! I don't know how I got up here!
Raquel! Raquel Dijon! Don't panic! I'm from the Ministry of Well-Being.
How can we help?
Nothing to see here, sir. I suggest you go back inside and enjoy some screen-based entertainment.
Excuse me? I'd like to make a complaint.
Please, both of you, I'm a welfare officer. I know how to deal with this kind of problem. I just need to check the negotiation protocol.
Well, thank goodness the Ministry is on this. It's all very distracting.
Anyone got any ideas?
Yes, I do. I have an idea.
Go on.
Never use a simile when a metaphor suggests itself.
What?
I'm in the middle of composing an Aspiration Day poem, but my lexiconic cupboard is bare, so to speak. Hence the requirement for...
Wait, is this idea about your poem?
Well, yes. You asked if anyone had an idea. You were not specific to the context.
Oh, God.
Can you see any way down from there?
No! And everything's wet now thanks to that robot.
Hold on. We'll work something out. Think you can get on the robot when it passes?
I could try. But what if...
We'll catch you. You can do it.
I rather doubt she can.
Can't you try and be more encouraging?
You have a reasonably good eye for aesthetics.
Thank you!
Now, grab on tight. We'll be right underneath you.
You'll be fine.
Human grip strength is famously reliable. Only in short bursts.
Okay, here goes.
Commencing refill.
Oh, wait. We need to make sure...
Water refill complete.
We shouldn't have any water.
Commencing spray. Please stand back. Water tank depleted. Commencing refill. Water refill complete.
That worked out.
How do you feel, Raquel? Are you okay?
I don't know.
Well, I'm glad that's all sorted. Shall I call a pod for her?
I've got it from here, thank you. Raquel, what were you even doing up there?
I don't know. I don't really remember anything.
Water refill complete.
The girl looked glad to be back on solid ground. Excuse me?
Mr. Grundy. Oh, Mr. Grundy.
Mr. Grundy?
Bravo, Mr. Grundy. Your actions in this situation were sublime, albeit unconventional. The local noise levels have already returned to normal, and the building will soon sparkle again.
I'm more concerned about the girl. Is she gonna be okay?
Yes, blah, 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 and all that. Officer, wouldn't you say that Mr. Grundy's actions today warrant a kudos boost, hmm?
Of course. Thank you for the suggestion.
Tarquin, miss.
Orana Newblood.
Yeah, like the guy said. Graham Grundy.
Mr. Grundy?
Will she be in trouble for the graffiti?
Well, no real harm done. The droid will clean it up, eventually. That said, her kudos rating will take a hit.
All because she defaced Joey?
People loved Joey, and what he did for us.
Joey was my friend. We did so much together.
Well, he might be gone, but he's not forgotten. You can find out about our savior at the Museum of New History.
You mentioned I could find out about Joey in a museum?
Yes. The Museum of New History has exhibits about how he transformed the city. I'd recommend it to anyone who wants to learn about him and his legacy.
A museum dedicated to Joey? He'd be proud of that for sure.
Well, it's not all Joey. They have a special exhibit about the previous administration. Old technology, maps, that sort of thing. My advice, though, is to avoid dwelling on the past. Anyway, taking in some culture is good for you. Find it at the Piazza if you get the chance.
Raquel. Is she always like that?
What do you mean?
Well, I met her earlier and she seemed like a totally different person.
She's been through a big ordeal. Nothing that a trip to the Reflection Spa won't sort out.
What is the Reflection Spa?
What is the... Are you feeling okay, Graham? Everyone this side of the industrial level has heard of Reflections.
Oh, you mean that Reflection Spa. It's been a long day.
Next, you'll be asking me to tell you about this Joey guy.
No, I'm familiar. How is the girl doing?
She'll be fine. This sort of trauma is best handled at the Reflection Spa.
So, do you work here?
I'm an officer for the Ministry of Well-Being.
You often have to talk girls off high ledges?
My first one.
You did a good job.
Thanks.
Does the location E1594 mean anything to you?
Well, E1594? That's just an area code based on the old map system. Totally obsolete. That system hasn't been used for years.
E1594 was an obsolete code. There had to be
The
a
museum.
way of finding that location.
I assume then.
I'm on the trail of a missing kid called Milo. I think he's somewhere in Union City.
That shouldn't be difficult. Any Greta terminal will be able to find him via U-chip.
No, that won't help. He was brought here from the Gap.
That's not possible.
I assure you.
Where did you say you worked, Mr. Grundy?
That'd be the Ministry of Comfort.
I suggest you concentrate on your work and leave well-being issues to the appropriate ministry.
I guess I should get going.
Yeah, well, thanks for your help.
I suppose I should thank you too.
No problem. You take care.
You too, Mr. Grundy. If you need any well-being support, just ask for me at Greta Terminal. Orana Newblood. Come on, Raquel. Let's get you to the spa. You'll be feeling better in no time. No need to worry, Raquel. You're safe now. Happy faces all round, right? In fact, this calls for a celebration. It is Aspiration Day after all.
Oh, goodness. Is it?
all day. And you know what would be the best end to a day like this? A trip to the Reflection Spa. I'll pull a string or two, and we'll get you straight to the front of the line.
Hello again.
Good day, Master Grundy.
Bye for now.
Before you depart, may I use you as a sort of muse?
Depends. Are you writing a romance?
I had something of a tragedy in mind.
I'd rather you didn't.
Commencing spray. Please stand back.
Excuse me, Songbird?
Hey, stranger.
Bye, Songbird.
Yeah, bye. Ahem.
I had a lead. A map reference. E1594. Graham had put a tracker there. Maybe it was the key to finding his hacker friend, Leet.
Pod has been requested. Please wait for embarkation. Welcome, Citizen Graham. Where would you like to go?
The piazza is the place for me.
It would be my pleasure, Citizen Graham.
So let's see if the museum is open now. I wonder if we can talk to this guy. Root slot.
Hey, got a minute?
It is so good to see you, Mr. Grundy.
You sound just like that cafe droid.
Barry?
That's the one. Are you related?
We did come off the same production line, and we do indeed have identical voice units. But I am nothing like that no-good, rusty, two-faced vending machine.
Wow, I didn't realize droids could feel such emotion.
Oh, I only have one emotion. Happiness.
Okay.
Does E1594 mean anything to you?
Literally nothing. Should it?
It's an obsolete location reference. I'm trying to find the building it refers to.
Unfortunately, I am not programmed to understand or translate obsolete infrastructure references.
I'll see you later.
I can't wait. Calling all
See if it's open now. I think you had to see a map in here where it refers to.
Leet was my only lead to discovering Graham's connection to the Stalker. And the obsolete map reference E1594 was the only lead I had to finding Leet. As I surveyed the room, I was greeted by a familiar face.
Hello,
Oh
darling.
god, not her. Whose dog we made fly.
Please enjoy the Museum of New History. Learn all about Union City and the...
It was a hologram of Danielle Piermont, a friend from when I last came to Union City.
fluids. You need them. We all do. But water isn't only scarce. It's dull. What's a good citizen to do? That's why famed Ministry of Plenty craniohydrologist Mr. Spankles created Spankles! Spankles is far more than just your recommended daily dose of vital fluids.
Union City wishes all citizens a happy
What the?
aspirational story
The centerpiece of the whole museum was a synthetic arm. I recognized it. It was Joey's. He'd lost it in our fight against Link all those years ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
look, over here!
Dad, do you have to be so loud?
The arm! Isn't it amazing?
Seemed like I wasn't the only one interested in the Joey arm.
Didn't I promise? Didn't I say I'd bring you here?
You did, Dad. I'm so stoked.
This is Joey's arm! This was once attached to the really real Joey! Savior of Union City! Aren't you feeling blessed to be here?
Of course I am, Dad, but...
Then tell the world! How awesome is this place, huh?
Hold on, Cecily. I think someone wants to talk to you.
What? Dad, he's clearly...
What's that, Joey? Come in!
Dad, not... You'll have to excuse my dad. He's very dedicated to Joey.
The man was totally absorbed by the waving arm. Excuse me.
Oh, hey. Wow, you look different.
What do you mean?
Your outfit, it's so...
Functional?
Functional?
I was just gonna say weird.
If mine's weird, what color is yours supposed to be?
Duh. It's perinickel margarine. It's like Tuesday's happiest color. Where are you even from?
You'd never believe me.
This museum visit just got way more interesting.
Your father seems to really love this place.
He'd spend all day, every day here if he could.
That's some real faith he must have.
That's one word for it. He keeps going on about a sign. As if Joey's arm is gonna tell him how to be normal.
I'm sensing some resentment.
Maybe he should ask it how to win Mom back.
Are there many people like your father in the city?
Like my father? You mean Joey fanatics? They have a club, but my dad is something else. Got enough faith for the two of us.
Maybe even enough for all three of us.
You have no idea.
I like your brooch.
This? You mean you've never seen one of these? You must be from the Gap or something.
Me? No. Good one.
It's an aspiration brooch. The council awards them to people who max out their kudos each month. Social climbers, they're known as.
You must be an incredible person.
What, me? No, it's my dad who earned the kudos, obviously. Talk to him if you want to know who to impress.
Then, how did you get yours?
Oh, Dad got a second one. Bring a friend or something.
So they're transferable?
Technically, yes.
Does this social climber status do anything for you?
Absolutely. First, everybody who sees you can tell that you've been a model citizen all month.
Very inspirational, I'm sure.
Actually, it's kinda embarrassing. Everyone just stares at you all day. It's not like you even get anything good from it. Not really.
Then what's the point?
I guess if you really care, you get to go look around the special exhibits over in the old history room. Dad gets so excited by that sort of stuff. Can't stop staring at the old map.
An old map? In the old history exhibit?
Yeah, shows the city as it was 10 years ago. He's obsessed with how terrible things were in the pre-Joey era.
So there's a map in the old history exhibit showing the city as it was?
Yes, and it's old. Everything in there is.
That's where we need to go.
Hey, listen, I know we just met, but I really was hoping to get one of those brooches. Need to check out the old history exhibit.
Let me guess. You were hoping I'd give you mine.
That's right.
No offense, but you don't seem as evangelical as most Joey freaks. What's back there that's so important to you?
Do you ever feel like you're not being given the whole truth about the city?
You mean how perfect everything is? Yeah. Sometimes it does seem a bit...
Alert. Trajectory obstructed.
Ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, who'd fall for this Savior Joey nonsense?
Yeah. Sorry, I don't think my dad would like me talking to you. I'd better go back to the self-improvement and the learning.
So how would I get one of those aspiration brooches?
You'd have to ask my dad. He's the kudos king. If he gets Social Climber of the Month just twice more, we get a free toaster.
Wow, generous.
Yeah, well, we apparently already have everything we deserve, so...
Is there more to this museum?
There's the whole old history section, about what Union City was like before Savior Joey came along.
Oh, really? I'd like to learn more about that story.
I've heard it's pretty depressing. They only let you in if they think you can handle it.
How do they determine that?
The same way they determine everything else. Kudos. Like, if your kudos is high enough, or in my dad's case, raised enough since last month, they figure you've got the moral fiber to be able to make it out the other side still smiling.
Praise Joey, am I right?
So, where did you first find Joey?
Scattered across an irradiated gap scrap heap. Yourself?
In my heart? Your answer is way better.
It's really important that I get that brooch.
So you keep saying. But you don't seem like the reverent type. What do you really think of this place?
If I were a cynic, I might call some of it a little unbelievable.
Don't say that around my dad. He really buys into all this stuff. Hey, listen. You and me, we're on the same wavelength here. And it's a different wavelength than my father.
He does seem very devout.
Right? And honestly, just staring at an old arm gets dull. You can just walk out, but I'm stuck here.
And you can just go into the back while I can't.
I'll make a deal with you. You give my dad a reason to leave, and I'll give you this dumb thing. You in?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in. That brooch in exchange for your freedom.
Finally. Praise Joey.
Praise? Yes, praise Joey. The girl had agreed to give me her aspiration brooch if I could somehow get her father to leave the museum.
Oh boy.
Union City wishes all citizens a happy Aspiration Day.
Alert. Trajectory obstructed.
Union City wishes all citizens a happy...
The guy was looking for a sign from the Joey arm. I wondered if I could help.
What would we switch it to? Calmly, gently. No, okay, so it has to be the same shape. Okay.
Union City wishes all citizens a happy Aspiration Day.
Alert. Trajectory obstructed.
Hello there.
Good day, friend. Are you here to walk with Joey?
I've walked with Joey before. He had treads at the time.
Yes. When you tread with Joey, you become one with happiness.
How do you walk with an arm?
You don't walk with him. You walk with him in here.
I think you're probably walking with him up there.
Oh, the mind's always on Joey, that's for sure.
You kind of worship Joey, huh? Is that why you're here?
Well, I mean, yes, but not just that. I'm looking for a sign.
A sign? From who?
Joey, of course. When a man reaches our age...
Our age?
He starts to look for guidance. And what better thing to point me in the right direction than the arm of Joey himself?
Joey's actual arm? Quite something, huh?
Yes, the original arm that wrenched the city from the precipice of damnation.
Didn't it just get stuck to a hand scanner?
This very arm wielded a weapon so great it tore down a tyranny. This very arm wielded a weapon so great it toppled the heads of government, forged a plowshare and rebuilt the city from the ground up. With this arm, he plucked the eyes from the Hydra of Link and gave them to the people so we all might see.
All that by himself?
Yes! Yes, all by himself! The whole story can be found on the stations around the hall.
Is that a social climber aspiration brooch?
Ah, I know a real savior craver when I see one. I'm proud to be one of the biggest social climbers in the past 30 days, and the 30 days before that. Such an honor. Sorry, I made you drag that out of me a bit. I'm just never sure where Joey stands on humility.
Oh, I say he's rather flexible. If I wanted to get inside the old history exhibit, this brooch would be the key. What sort of sign are you looking for?
At this point, anything. I've been such a devoted citizen, putting Joey first above everything. My job, my wife and daughter, all second to Joey, just as he would have wanted. But now, I worry I'm straying off the path.
Ever thought about a counselor?
But who would deliver better counsel than the Savior himself?
What are you hoping to learn from the arm?
The next step to take to a bright future. My vocation, my journey, destiny. And I'm nearly there. I've never seen the arm act so erratically until today.
And what if you don't like what it has to say?
Who am I to judge the will of Joey?
This guy wasn't going anywhere without a sign from Joey. I had a feeling, without my intervention, he'd be waiting a while.
Celebrations this Aspiration Day to show you...
Say, I'm looking for a specific location. An obsolete area code E1594. Is there a map around here somewhere?
A map around here? I don't think so. Unless you mean the map in the old history exhibit.
Well, that counts.
Well, in that case, you're in luck. There is one in the old history exhibit. How it was before the Joey era. It's like staring into oblivion.
Oh god.
But of course, without a brooch,
This one
they won't
has
let
a
you
few
in.
screws loose.
Is the arm telling you anything at the moment?
I think it's telling me to calm down. I always get overly excited about these things.
What if you never get assigned?
Then I shall never leave.
What if you never get assigned?
Then I shall never leave.
No, insult, I don't think. Okay, so we need to find a difference, so insult is not going to do anything for us.
I better go and admire something.
Keep a smile on your face.
We need to find a...
Union City is now the envy of the civilized world. But this is only the beginning. From our new partnership with Agio City to the ongoing enrichment
she
of the
doing?
Gap, Savior Joey's teachings continue to guide us. Join the celebrations this Aspiration Day to show your gratitude and dare to dream what you might become.
Alert. Trajectory obstructed.
Union City wishes all citizens a happy Aspiration Day. Here begins the story of Joey. 10 years ago, evil gripped our beloved city. The people suffered under the tyranny of the oppressor Link. Their voices cried out for help. From deep in the gap, Savior Joey heard their pleas and came to free us all.
Sure.
Union City wishes all citizens a happy Aspiration Day.
Okay.
The struggle against Link was long and fierce, and there was great suffering. Only through great sacrifice did the Savior defeat oppressor Link and declare the city free. But his work had only just begun. Triumphant, he rose from the depths to guide us to a glorious future. Union City wishes all citizens a happy Aspiration Day. Savior Joey leashed the oppressor Link to serve and protect the people, and founded the council to restore the rule of democracy. Then, his work complete, he departed the city to spread his wisdom to the savage peoples of the world.
Savage peoples, huh?
Union City. In the Savior's name, the council formed the 5 ministries that continue to guide Union City in this new golden era. Plenty, comfort, safety, aspiration, well-being. The glorious pillars of the city, ever vigilant in the protection of your happiness. Wishes all citizens a happy Aspiration Day. Union City wishes all citizens a happy Aspiration Day.
Warning, citizen. Cleaning route is active.
Okay, so what we need something so we can hack into this guy.
Citizens a happy Aspiration Day.
The movement.
Union City wishes all citizens a happy Aspiration Day. Who saved us from starving in sadness and hate? Savior Joey! Put clothes on our backs and food on our plates. Savior Joey! Who made Union City the best thing for miles. Savior Joey! Makes everything nice and has nothing but smiles. Savior Joey!
Greetings, citizen. We are the Council, your democratically elected representatives. 5 years ago, Savior Joey decreed that we take charge of our own destiny and prove ourselves worthy of the freedom that he brought. The Council proudly serves to uphold his legacy for the benefit of all.
We invite you to salute the people of Asio City, our faraway friends and valued members of the Union Group. Unstinting and determined cooperation has allowed both cities to grow to become the richest cities in the world. After bringing an end to the tyranny of the oppressor Link, Joey created Minos to ensure that forthwith technology would always serve rather than enslave the citizens. Minos is devoted to ensuring your happiness, always there for you. Minos is available for you on any terminal. Union City, that continue to guide
Can
through
we?
this city.
It's somehow.
Union City wishes all
The droid was going around in a circle, repeating the same inane message.
I think we need to have that one and put aggressively in it. Somehow we need to have. No, maybe.
Union City wishes all citizens a happy Aspiration Day.
Yeah.
Alert. Trajectory obstructed.
Union City wishes all citizens a happy Aspiration Day.
Hello again.
Ah, it's you.
Is the arm telling you anything at the moment?
I think he's trying to give me a high five. What else could it mean, right?
What if you never get assigned?
Then I shall never leave.
How can I get one of those brooches?
Just be a good citizen. Every morning, every afternoon, every evening, and all night long. And then wake up and do it again tomorrow.
I'm not sure I have time for that. Could you give me your aspiration brooch?
I couldn't. They're issued specifically to social climbers.
Could you lend me yours?
No can do. Only the highest Kudos social climbers are allowed into the old history exhibit. You are not worthy, according to the council, that is.
I don't think your daughter is as excited by this museum as we are.
What? What? If Cecily could spend every moment of every day just praising Joey, she would. Cecily! Come here and tell this man how much you love Joey! She really does, though.
What if you never get assigned?
Then I shall never leave.
There's a map of the city in the old history exhibit?
Not just any map. It shows the city as it was 10 years ago.
Union City is now the envy of the civilized world. But this is only the beginning. From our new partnership with
Hey, mister.
Yes?
Ongoing enrichment of the gap, Savior Joey's teachings continue to guide us. Join the celebration.
I'll bet your favorite flavor of Spankles is regret.
No, it's grape.
Yeah, well.
Hmm.
There's more brains in a Mini K than there is between your ears.
The Mini K is and always will be a delicious high-protein snack.
Yeah, well.
I don't think this is gonna work.
I've met toasters in this town with more conversational skills than you.
Oh, I know. They're getting more eloquent every day.
Oh, God.
Ah, right. I bet you shake hands like a limp fish.
In the palms of Savior Joey, we are all but limp fish.
We need. Okay, I think I know what we need to do.
That's profound.
Sir, I think you might appreciate one of the other exhibits, while I wonder at this one.
I read you loud and clear.
Keep a smile on your face.
Okay. So, with this one, it would like maybe hit or slap somebody.
City wishes all citizens a happy
But we
Aspiration
need
Day.
him to get up there.
Union City wishes all citizens a happy Aspiration Day.
Hey there.
Hello again, mystery man. How's progress? Anything I can do?
Your father doesn't have eyes for anything but that arm.
Ugh, you should hear him going on about it at home. It's like he's waiting for a sign from Joey himself or something.
So there's some...
And if a sign came, would he listen?
Are you kidding? He'd follow it to the ends of the gap.
How well does he take criticism?
He doesn't.
Enjoy your day.
Keep a smile on your face.